Do you know what the PRO Act is? If not, it's essentially AB5 for the entire country. And it's in Congress right now. That's what we're talking about today. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and this is Real Rideshare Stories. And again, we're going on with the debate. Are drivers, delivery drivers, shoppers, anybody in the gig economy, are they really independent contractors or are they employees? Well, the PRO Act, which is in Congress right now for the entire country, is something that could change whether the drivers, delivery drivers, and shoppers are truly independent contractors or are we employees? As you see on the screen right now, this is HR 2474, and essentially it's something that will codify AB5 like legislation when it comes to determining whether drivers are going to be classified as independent contractors or employees. Now, if you want to read this entire thing in its entirety, you can. Link's going to be in the description. I am not going to read this whole thing because it's actually quite big. The only thing I'm actually going to focus on is the ABC code, which is very similar to AB5. Now, we all know AB5 got overturned in November with Prop 22, which was a $200+ million ballot initiative to make sure that drivers remain independent contractors. Now, trying to do that across the entire country is going to be a lot more difficult and probably very unlikely. So if the PRO Act passes, it's very likely that drivers, delivery drivers, shoppers, anybody else in the gig economy might become employees. So again, going back to the act itself, right here, when you look at it, they're going to give you some of the definitions and that, but right here, employee, it's going to be amended by adding the end of the following. An individual performing any service shall be considered an employee except as provided in the previous sentence, and not an independent contractor unless A, the individual is free from control and direction in connection with the performance of the service, both under the contract for the performance of service and in fact. B, the service is performed outside the usual course of the business of the employer. And C, the individual is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, profession, or business of the same nature as that involved in the service performed. Now, we all know that the Biden administration is for AB5 and was against Prop 22. And also, the PRO Act was written in the House of Representatives and passed in the House of Representatives with a pretty good margin of 224 to 194, pretty much split among the parties. Now, it's unlikely it will go to the Senate and actually be voted on, but it's still possible. The only thing that's stopping that from actually going further is that the GOP is kind of against this and says that this type of labor law would actually hurt companies and everything else. So whether you agree with whatever stance, it might be stalled out, but again, it could have a possibility of going further if they're able to come to some sort of agreement. And recently, the UK decided that drivers are not independent contractors. And so that could play a little bit into what might happen, maybe state legislation-wise, like what Illinois is just trying to propose, or the PRO Act on a national level. Now, I've asked this before because the debate still continues on, and I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think drivers should be employees? Do you think they should have employee-like benefits and remain independent contractors? Do you think that they should remain as is? Or do you think there should be some sort of improvements that are made? Maybe something like Prop 22 or something else that hasn't even been discovered yet, and make things more improved that way. Comment below with your thoughts on what it is that you think Uber and Lyft drivers, delivery drivers, shoppers, and gig economy workers should be classified as. All right, that's the end of the video. If there are any updates to the PRO Act, whether it is taken up in the Senate, voted on, or just kind of fizzles out, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.